This is day 3 of this 2026 January Rohatsu 7-day sesshin. Today we'll continue with the teachings of the Korean Zen master Kusan Sunim, reading from the book The Way of Korean Zen, translated by Martine Batchelor. I'm going to jump ahead to the next chapter that's titled Discourses from a Winter Retreat. And like the previous one, I won't read the whole thing, but zero in on sections that seem to really speak to this sesshin. Kusan begins with a poem. I made friends with the white clouds and gray storks, who gently reply to the fresh wind and the bright moon, unaffected by the passage of time. I remain bright and quiet while I sit. A bowl of porridge, a plate of wild greens, and a cup of tea. I smile. When the mind is settled and we allow ourselves to just immerse and flow along with the rest of life, with the way things are, we do find joy. And also we make friends everywhere. The most mundane object, like a cracker, a teacup, a sock, they're all our friends. We can come to see them that way when we're intimate with life, with whatever presents itself to us. And believe it or not, that includes thoughts. We can see thoughts as our friends as well. Even though they do have a tendency to show up uninvited, they kind of barge in. They want to occupy our time and our attention, all hours of the day and night. And yet, as long as we don't take the bait, as long as we don't react to them, as long as we let them be, they'll leave on their own. We don't have to make them into an enemy. We don't have to kick them out. When we react in any way, whether it's rejecting them or latching on to them, we're validating them. We're giving them power. giving them power over us. There's another kind of friend as well that I think we all encounter in sesshin, not just thoughts, but pain. Pain is a friend too, if we open up to it. Ordinarily, we want to oppose it, tense up, get frustrated, angry with our body, catastrophize over it, telling ourselves, oh, this is just the beginning, it's going to get worse from here. Why did I sign up for this? And yet we can experience pain in a whole new way, just as we can experience life in a whole new way, with all the ups and downs. When we drop our complaints and our self-concern, just relax into it. This is how it is. And by relax into it, I just mean allow ourselves to just experience whatever shows up. Pain, thoughts, all kinds of feelings and sensations. Allow it to happen without identifying with any of it, without seeing it as mine. Just seeing what's there, not holding onto any of it. Onto the text. Master Kusan begins by addressing the assembly of monks at this winter retreat. He says, "All of you who came to this monastery, what are you doing? Are you eagerly seeking fame and wealth? Are you seeking glory? Are you just looking for comfort? Did you come to the temple to live free from cares because life in the world is too difficult? Are you eagerly seeking scholastic learning? Are you eagerly seeking cleverness? You should not be here for any of these reasons." Although we're not in a monastery right now, we're in sesshin. And these words are a good reminder of why we came here. No one commits to a sesshin without having faith, deep faith in their true nature. And everyone here knows that this is who we all are. That our true self is no self. And we take refuge in it. We all take heart in this teaching. That's why we're here. yet, we still find ourselves getting caught up in habits of body and mind that distract us from why we're here. I myself know very well that old habits are hard to break. Chasing after comfort, peace, ease, chasing after attainment, or just trying to keep it together, trying to stay in control. Be in the driver's seat. We also run away from things, as Kusan said. We run away from life's difficulties. Family problems, relationship problems, work problems. And then there's also running away from oneself. We do that too. Not liking the person who we are. Clinging to self-judgments. Which we also extend to other people. There's a lot of mental noise, isn't there, that shows up in our thoughts and our actions. But we have a way. We have a way to break free, and that's this practice. Just by giving ourselves to it. We've heard this a million times. Keep returning to it. But putting that into action is hard. It's amazing, even when we recognize, we've observed, and even vocalized what our habits are, we still hang on to them. Keep falling for it. And this is where faith and persistence matter the most. Really trusting that all there is this moment, this now. The past is long gone. The future's unknowable. But right now, you can give yourself to the breath, this one breath. Kusan says, all the affairs of the world are just like dreams. With a single stroke of a knife, completely sever all concerns. Only search for awakening. Not only must you discard all worldly fame, wealth, glory, comfort, learning, and cleverness, but the Buddhas as well. You must finish with it all. When he says only search for awakening, though, he's not saying to treat it like a goal. Like finding a new job or getting a pay increase or a promotion. Searching in Zen is something else altogether different. It means stop looking externally. Stop looking to get a reward, a payoff for your effort. Instead, the searching is just looking. Looking within. Looking for its own sake. Seeing clearly. Seeing thoughts for what they are, which is nothing. You can look everywhere for thoughts, but you're not going to find them. And if you do, let me know, because I've been looking. And Kusan is saying, this includes thoughts about our own Buddha nature. Even the teachings of the Buddha in a sesshin that is being held in his honor. Discard that too. Practice is radically simple in this way. When we strip everything down to the bare essential, get underneath thoughts. Look, search all the way down to the bottom. Kusan continues. An ancient master once said, "The bright light of the mind has never darkened. From ages past to the present, it has been the brilliant way. When entering this door, discard intellectual knowledge. This bright spiritual light, which is able to hear the sound and to see a staff, has not darkened even once. That's what he's talking about. Not once has it become a sentient being. Not once has it become a Buddha. For this reason, it is the way that is eternally radiant. And therefore, when entering this door, discard intellectual knowledge. After practicing for a while, you may come to think that you know something. Then you start conceptualizing. For example, if you have been meditating on mu, you may think, that which says mu, is that not it? Those working on what is this may think, that which says, what is this? Is that not it? This approach is wrong. Avoid speculative thinking. As we said before, with one of the translations of mu, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Not even the thought that I am it. Nor the thought that this is it. Thoughts and words miss the mark. That's why we do sesshin in silence, and that's why we ask everyone to not keep a journal. But still, there's always a mental journal that we can resort to. When we do that, we create this mental journal by lingering in thoughts about me and my practice, my progress or my lack of progress. This sesshin compared to the last sesshin, etc. To dig down deeper, you really, really need to trust. Again, that this one moment is it. This is the only moment you have that you can count on, and it's already gone. And not only is this moment completely new, so are you. This is the new you. Nothing about the past limits you. So that's gone. Kusan then says, when you investigate the koan, or whatever your practice is, and intend to awaken to your great original nature, you must be like a hen hatching eggs. Think about how much effort the hen must exert in order to successfully hatch eggs. From dawn to dusk, she constantly pecks and searches for food. Imagine how hungry she gets while sitting on the eggs all day long. If she frequently leaves to eat or drink, only half of them will hatch properly. The rest will rot. While the hen is hatching her eggs, she does not just sit quietly. She moves the eggs around with her feet in order to evenly distribute the heat. Only in this way will the chicks hatch successfully. I love this metaphor of a hen tending to her eggs. For one, she doesn't count her eggs before they've hatched. And once they have hatched, she gives her single-minded attention to caring for them, no matter how many there are. She also never, when she's sitting on her nest, she doesn't think about when the chicks will hatch. She doesn't count days or months or weeks. And nor does she think about what they'll look like when they do. She doesn't start coming up with names for them and planning their future. All she can do is tend to them right now. That's all she can do. And it's the same with our practice. Tend to the koan, tend to the breath. Now. And now. Moment by moment. And then what happens when we lose our attention? Well, this you've heard a million times as well. If you've got a functioning brain, you're going to lose attention. It's going to happen a lot. Even the later days of sesshin, it happens. Even though we want to think that it's there's this sort of chronology, and you're increasingly progressing, going up a mountain. It doesn't work that way. This path has a lot of twists and turns to it. But the sooner that we notice, and the sooner that we return to our practice, the easier it feels. There's just more flow to it. So just like in the case of an egg, our practice is very fragile. When we do bring our attention back, just like the hen caring for an egg, we have to do it gently. It has to have a nurturing quality. Moving ahead a few paragraphs here, Master Kusan offers another metaphor that shows this intimacy we're developing with our practice. He says, there are some people who try to obtain wisdom through book knowledge. This is comparable to going to the seashore and trying to count all the grains of sand. Could you ever count each one of them? The true meditator must consider it as his very life. When going, the practice goes. When coming, the practice comes. When eating, the practice eats. When sleeping, the practice sleeps. Even when going to the toilet and defecating, you must investigate earnestly, never letting it out of your mind, to the point where it seems that the practice itself is defecating. Any kind of bodily function, all the things we secrete and expel and also consume, in one end, out the other. It's also wondrous to be in a body. Next he says, at times, while practicing, your head may ache and become hot. This is often due to the arising of sangi. I've never seen that word before, but there is a footnote defining what it is. It's spelled Sangi. It says it's a state of nervous tension caused by the rising of the body's vital energy. So I guess you can think of it as a bout of intensity or anxiety, which is one of many passing states you can encounter. We use the Japanese word makyo to refer to temporary states. They can be physiological, they can be emotional, visual, auditory, some combination. They can feel so real. Examples would be conjuring up these elaborate fantasy, hearing strange sounds, seeing strange sights, maybe on the divider wall, bodily sensations, crying, bouts of crying, and not even knowing why you're crying. One of the more seductive kinds of makyo is some state of euphoria. Not everyone experiences them, but some folks are really prone to them. And it's good to bring it up now because they are more likely to happen now that we've got several days of zazen underneath our wings. The important thing to do is just recognize it, not get sucked into it, return to your practice. Kusan goes on. Here's another metaphor. You must also be like a cat trying to catch a mouse. Observe the look of a cat that is trying to catch a mouse at the foot of a stone wall. While slinking along at the base of the wall, it keeps its eyes firmly fixed on the hole where the mouse entered. At a place far away from the hole, it then sits silently in hiding. Its eyes continue to stare piercingly at the hole while waiting for the mouse to come out. At such a time, if even a person, a chicken, or a dog goes near the cat, it takes no notice of their passing and continues to watch the mouse hole. And if the mouse appears for even an instant, like a flash of lightning, the cat leaps and grabs it. All its energy is directed to that mouse hole. not aware of anything else happening. The cat's life depends on that meal. And what happens if she does get distracted? Gets excited, maybe starts thinking about what that mouse is going to taste like. She's going to miss it. She's not going to see that mouse when it comes out. But when she does that, what does she do? When she misses her opportunity, she gets back to work. She goes back on the hunt. She doesn't spend any time berating herself for the misstep. She gets back to work. And it's in this way that attention is the heart of practice. It needs to be intentional and consistent, not haphazard or occasional when it feels right. Through all conditions. Kusan says, to live long would be to live for 100 years. A short life is over in the time it takes to inhale and exhale a single breath. 100 years of life depends upon a single breath, for life stops when respiration ceases. Can you afford to wait for 100 years when you do not know how soon death will come? You may die after having eaten a good breakfast in the morning. You may die in the afternoon after a good lunch. Some die during sleep. You may die in the midst of going here and there. No one can determine the time of death. We've also heard that 1,000,000 times. If not now, when? Which is to say, if not this one moment, if not this one breath, this one moo, then which one? This one is the one that matters. Kusan says, look at the sea. Not only when there is wind do waves arise. Even when the sea is calm, waves are rising and falling thousands of times. A deluded person will call this world of sea suffering. An awakened one will call it a Buddha world. For an enlightened person, it is simply all illuminated. For a deluded person, It is simply all deluded. All is arising from your own mind. The Buddha world arises from your own mind. Its transformation into the sea of suffering likewise arises from your own mind. Our time is up. We'll stop here and recite the 4 vows.